So I woke up this morning and had some great reminders of how the universe works and how the universe chooses to support us. I think fundamental to consciousness is the desire to expand and the desire to know thyself. This is why eventually all people at one point, whenever they're ready, move to this higher path of realization. And so the universe and consciousness, which is really part of our own consciousness, has a way of nudging us, has a way of trying to communicate things to us on our path through the unfolding of reality. Lately, I have been trying to get this podcast off the ground. And I've done a few podcasts before. I'm familiar with how to do it. This is like easy peasy stuff as far as the actual process. But I've noticed that there has been all of these little things coming up. So I'll give you some examples. I worked with someone to produce the episodes, and it turned out that the produced episodes got deleted. I reached out to some people on the show. They were ghosting me. I've had all this equipment that I've bought that has been the wrong size or the wrong model. And it's like every which way I go, there's been resistance. There's been lack of ease. And at first I thought, well, maybe I'm not supposed to do this podcast. And before I decided to embark on this journey of podcasting again, I had asked for guidance. And the guidance that I got was, you should absolutely do it. And there was a desire to do the podcast because I love doing it, but there also was some less pure motives. And so one of the ways that the ego works is it tries to do things to get something. It has this transactional relationship with the world where it views activities as a means to an end. If I work, I get this money that I want. If I work out, I'm gonna have the body that's gonna make me important. If I do a podcast, I'm gonna be special. So it has all these tendencies. And when I was in a deep meditation today, and I asked about, why am I facing so much resistance with getting this podcast going? Am I still supposed to do it? The answer I got was, yes, you are. But the reason that you're doing the podcast needs to be investigated. And as I investigated it, I realized that there was this portion of motive that was based on the idea that, wow, consciousness is increasingly becoming a part of the mainstream. This insight, this wisdom, it's something that more and more people are going to need. And you have an opportunity as kind of an early adopter of moving up this consciousness path to be a thought leader, to be someone important. You have an opportunity to take advantage of this situation. And I saw that thought form was partially responsible for what I'm experiencing. Because although that is true, although if the primary motive was to simply achieve in the material world, to do all of the things that the ego likes to do, yeah, absolutely. Like that's a good enough reason to continue this project. However, if the end goal is actually to continue to expand consciousness, to continue to move towards transcendence, self-realization, whatever you want to call it, the whole material world stuff is secondary to the actual motive or context to which we do things. And so what I now realize is that the reason that I was experiencing all this friction is because there was some ego behind what I was doing. And when that is the case, at least at my own personal level of evolution, I'm not going to be rewarded with that because the universe is trying to expand, and that dynamic is in conflict with your personal expansion. And so anyways, this was a big, wonderful realization that I had this morning. Perhaps it's an opportunity to investigate on your own path where you're experiencing friction. Why is that? why is that? Where is the motive? Where is the reason for the action that you're taking where you're kind of running up against some hurdles? And it's been my experience that once I go back to this, once I get grounded in the true self and the quiet, in the open-hearted, loving pursuit of things, all of the stuff, all the material stuff, all of the how of manifesting creation happens naturally and easily. And so I'm very excited because I'm tired of running into freaking hurdles as I do different things to kind of get this off the ground. And I will probably be creating another video on how things unfolded since I've sat with that thought form, allowed it to pass through, and replaced it with creating from service and love and joy of the process.